Welcome back all to my Gold Rush Mountain walkthrough. Gold Rush Mountain is this mountain right here, and I called it Gold Rush Mountain because there's lots and lots of good stuff there. Cooking ingredients, you name it. Just about everything the game has to offer is on that mountain. At least plant life, maybe not fish and stuff, but rupees, gemstones, weapons, you name it. It's all there. I said we were going to leave from the tower, but I just happened to look up and see a blood moon. So I went ahead and warped on over to the stable here and cooked up some meals. And I did want to kind of show you guys some of what I cooked up and show you the differences on some things. Okay, so that was during a blood moon, so I got one extra heart. But you can see the Hearty Lizard was worth 4, Hearty Durians worth 4, Big Hearty Radish worth 5. That's 4, 3, 12, plus 5 is 17, plus blood moon is 18. So that's the only downfall in using an elixir with a Hearty Lizard, is you have to sacrifice one of those spots for the monster part. So that's why I stay away from the elixirs. And I'll just go ahead and leave that for an emergency, I guess. So I did and cooked up all the stamina I had. I wish I had more yellow, I just didn't have the ingredients. But we'll be getting lots and lots of Endura carrots on Gold Rush Mountain, so good to go there. Or at least we will be. I cooked up a few of these. And I wanted to show you the difference between C-grade monster part, which is just regular old chew jelly, and then the same formula with a grade A monster part, which is the Casey eyeball. So the Blood Moon put 5 extra minutes on that, so that would normally be a 7-minute, 10-second elixir. And that is a 5-minute, 10-second elixir. And I went ahead and threw in some, let's see, let me see if I can find... Okay, so that's a mid-grade monster part. That's the high-grade monster part. I'm trying to find the mighty prongies. So you can only use one monster part when you use bananas, but if you use prongies, you can use 2 monster parts. That just bumps that time up. So without the Blood Moon, that would have been an 8-minute, 50-second elixir. 2 mighty prongies, bladed rhino beetle, and 2 grade A monster parts. Versus... oh, that's the same. Okay, that's a mid, the Lizzle Talon, so that's a B grade monster part. So I sacrificed a minute on that one. And then that's another A grade monster part, standby. Okay, so I don't have any mighty prongies left. So that's pretty much it, folks. That's about all I cooked up. So Blood Moon Cookie is now done, and we are going to get a move on to Gold Rush Mountain. So since I just already happened to be at the outskirts stable, I'm just going to go the same way as we were going before. Take the road north out of the outskirts stable, and we will hit this roadway. And when we get to this fork in the road, we're actually going to take a left. The horse will want to go right, but we're going to veer left. Reason being is there's a lot of big Hearty Raddishes down in that forest. There's 4 Korok seeds down in that forest. There's lots of mushrooms for stamina. All sorts of good stuff. This is really like the way I like to do my Gold Rush Mountain walkthrough anyway, so I guess it just makes sense to leave from the outskirts stable anyway. Okay, here's that fork in the road I was talking about. We're going to veer left. And the first of our goodies to be had is a Korok seed. Okay, so just to the left in that fork in the road, that's our Korok seed. And there's going to be a big Hearty Radish right behind here. If you're looking for a little mini hilltop thingy, we're going to climb right over and behind that. And that's where our big Hearty Radishes will be. There's actually just one big one. There's a couple small ones. There you have the big one. And I'm going to keep those marked because I like to know where they are on the map for quick travel time. Especially when I know there's a blood moon coming and I want to scoop as many of those up as possible. Okay, so I really don't need to be carrying around a fire rod anymore. Alright, so moving on through the forest here. Staying on the roadway, on the path. You'll be coming to a couple of rocks in the road. Always pick up the rocks in this game. You never know what you might find under there. But more specifically, there's going to be a big Hearty Radish back here somewhere. Right behind this tree, as a matter of fact. Okay. Actually, I should be showing you better on the map what we're doing here. Okay, let's get back out to the road and across, and you'll see a husk lighting up with another rock to pick up. 1 rupee! Whatever. Just be careful not to detonate your ordnance too close to your face, otherwise you'll be wasting a fairy, or losing hearts, or whatever the case may be. Okay, so let's get back out to the roadway. Now, where the road takes this curve to the right, we're going to actually go back into the woods here to the left. And anytime you see these fireflies, we need to start collecting those, folks. We're going to need 15 of those for suit upgrades. So now's the time to start. Whenever you see them, take advantage. Make sure you have your full stealth on, by the way, while you're in this forest. Okay, so we're going to be climbing up a little higher. We're looking for 1 more big Hearty Radish. Okay, now we're going to be heading over to this little lake. And there's a couple more Korok seeds in there. That's really about all that's over there, if I remember correctly. Got another rock to pick up. It's always a good idea to walk, don't run, because you'll never know when you'll start seeing beetles and lizards and things like that. I don't really recall seeing much for beetles and lizards on Gold Rush Mountain, but you never know. Just always a good habit to be in to walk, don't run when you're around trees. Okay, now we're going to be heading over to this side of the lake. There's another Korok seed over there. Then we're going to make our way up to the mountaintop. Okay, so go ahead and climb this little mini hilltop looking thing with a cave in it. And what we're going to do at this point is we're going to pin right past where those trees are toward the top. That's the direction we're going to be heading toward. That's about where that shrine's going to be. Actually, I'll just go ahead and delete that because it's not there. It's right down here in this little opening. Just to the south of where that little 3-way split mountain peak is. So that's where we're ultimately going to be heading. There's a shrine there, and we'll be warping up there quite frequently to be flying back down to gather more stuff. So from now, just kind of make your way up to the top. Steady as she goes. Keep an eye on that stamina. Okay, there's going to be a couple of Endura carrots coming up right here. In fact, there should be one by one of these trees right here. And I'm going to keep marking these with cooking pots. Oh yeah, you probably want to see where we are now. Okay, and then we're going to head back toward a bigger tree up this direction somewhere. Should be another Endura carrot. Okay, so now you probably noticed the big hole in the ground. That is, you guessed it, a Korok seed. And if you look uphill from here, you'll see the boulders that correspond to that hole. Now this one's a little tricky, I'm not going to lie. This one's tricky because you have to put the brakes on that boulder, otherwise it'll glide right past that stupid hole in the ground. Quite frustrating, quite annoying, but it is what it is. Okay, so go ahead and get a boulder rolling here. Come on, Link. Sort it out, brother. Okay, and then we're going to follow that boulder. Go ahead and get your stasis rune ready. And when the boulder gets relatively close to that hole, we're going to put the brakes on. We're going to get down there and we're going to use a one-handed weapon. Or maybe a two-handed weapon from this distance. I'll try a one-handed weapon. Hit it once. Go ahead and release, and it should finish going on in. If you don't put the brakes on that boulder, it'll just go right past. It'll be going too fast. Okay, so let's go back on up to where we saw those luminous stones. Always take the time to harvest luminous stones. You're going to need like 120 of those things for suit upgrades later on. More specifically, that'll be the Radiant set. The bone suit is what I call that. I only got 3 that trip. That's not a great score, but 3's better than 0. Okay, so continuing on uphill here toward the right, more or less, we're going to be finding this great big cliff wall that kind of jets out up into the sky. And there's a cave under here. Now don't worry about picking up the rocks in this cave. There's never anything under them. I don't know why. It's just the way it is. But you do have a couple more luminous stones in the cave here. Okay, go back out the way you came. And now we're going to climb to the top of where we saw that big cliff jetting out over the ceiling or way or what, sky, whatever. God, I can't talk. Alright, this is what I was looking for, a big boulder. You guessed it, Korok seed. Go ahead and ready a balloon. And pick the rock up underneath. Just to show you on the map where we're at now. Okay, now we're going to be heading up toward that pin that we placed a bit ago. That's where that shrine is. And on the way, we've got a couple of mushrooms, as you can see on the cliff wall here. Go ahead and take the time to get those bad boys. There's also a rock to pick up. Ah, come on, Link. There's also a rock to pick up, and this one always has a diamond under it. Now, this diamond will respawn over time. I think after the next blood moon, you can pick that rock back up. There will be another diamond there. Diamonds are worth 500 rupees a pop. So that is definitely good to keep track of, knowing that diamond is there. Okay, just continuing uphill here toward that pin that we placed. We're going to go ahead and activate the travel gate to that shrine for now. There's also a treasure chest underground somewhere around here. And it's got a forest dweller's bow, which we're going to want because ours is almost broken. And there's also another forest dweller's bow inside this shrine. So we're going to get 2 of them off Gold Rush Mountain and all. Okay, this is a spot where you'll find some more Endura carrots. There's always 4 here. And like everything else, they'll respawn over time. Okay, continuing uphill toward that shrine. There's a Korok seed here as well. Get the pile of leaves out of your way first. Alright, go ahead and activate your travel gate. Okay, so we're going to go to the right of the shrine for now. Actually, scratch that. We're going to go to the left of the shrine for now. And we're going to be looking for a couple of Silent Princess. And we're going to be going uphill, semi-uphill. And this is that big 3-way split peak we saw on the map. So we're going to be going around to the left of that big 3-way split peak. And what we're looking for is 2 big boulders. And it's not what you think. You might be thinking, oh, another Korok seed. Negative. Just take a little walk behind, spam the A button. There's a big hardy truffle and a regular hardy truffle back behind those. Continuing on around the mountain, you'll notice a big purple tree. That's key, because this is where Lord of the Mountain will spawn. Lord of the Mountain is a purple horse, and for you picture takers out there, it's the only place you can get a picture of the Lord of the Mountain. So, make notes of that, mark it on your maps, do what you want to do. Just remember, Gold Rush Mountain is where the Lord of the Mountain is going to be. Okay, so you should have 10 Endura Carrots by now off this mountain. We got another treasure chest. This is the other piece of the horse gear now. Once we equip this on our horse, this will enable it to have more spurs. So if you're sick and tired of only getting the 3 spurs off your 5-star speedster horse, now you don't have to worry about that. You'll have a total of 5. That will automatically add 2 spurs to any horse, so it's a pretty good piece of horse gear to have. Okay, and so on the top of this tree, there's another Korok seed. So how do you know when Lord of the Mountain will be here? At night, on some nights, there will be a great big blue glowing light coming off this mountain. You can't miss it. You can see it pretty much from all of Hyrule. When you see that big glowing blow light, warp back here, walk over here with your stealth on, and you'll get the Lord of the Mountain. And there are lots of Silent Princess on the Gold Rush Mountain as well. Okay, so just for mapping reference, that's where we are. If you want to mark the map here, you're welcome to. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and mark the map here. I'll put a star there so I can call it out later on when I do my map overview of my lap around the Great Plateau. Okay, so lots of rocks, lots of gemstones, as you can see here. I'm not going to take the time to bust all these open, but I do recommend you guys do that, just because it's lucrative, and you know, the more gemstones, the better. So I'll just go ahead and break open one, I guess, since I'm here. Or 2, for that matter. I think there's some more luminous stones back here as well. Of course, I could be wrong. Alright, so anyway, continuing on around the mountain here. What I'm going to do at this point is fly to the next part of Gold Rush Mountain, which is another 3-way split peak. So just for the map, this is the main one by the shrine. There's another 3-way split peak down on the other side of the mountain here. That's where we're going. There's another Korok seed on top of that. There's also some gemstones that usually produce pretty good gems. There's a treasure chest in there also, but I don't recommend it. It's a Forest Dweller Spear, and they're not that great on attack power, so I just don't bother with it. But if you want it, it's there. Just to show you guys where that treasure chest is. It's lighting up there on the bottom of my screen. So if you want it, go for it. For now, I'm just going to continue on and get my gemstones that I mentioned. Oh yeah, you can launch bombs from the air, by the way. I don't know if I called that out earlier on in my game or not. But, pretty cool feature of the game. You can just use your paraglider, go for a little flight, drop a bomb, detonate whenever you want. Just be careful not to detonate your ordnance right after you let go of it. Otherwise, you'll blow yourself right out of the sky. Probably waste a fairy in the process. Alright, so as I said, there's pretty good... There's pretty good gemstones here. Alright, where am I going next? I'm trying to find a little grassy area, and it's going to have some more big Hearty Raddishes. In fact, I'm right next to it. 2 to be exact. I'll try to mark both on the map, just so you guys know there's 2 here. And there's some regular sized ones as well. Okay, so I'll show you on the map where we're at now. We're gonna continuing on. I'm trying not to pass anything as I go, so I'll be checking my rune periodically here. There will be another Korok seed coming up with another buried treasure chest. I'm trying to find it. Stand by while I locate. Where are you? Treasure chest, treasure chest. Come out, wherever you are. Okay, well, it's around here somewhere. So for now, pinwheel. And I like to use bomb arrows on these when it's not raining, just because sometimes you can get more than one at a time. And you might as well. Bigger bang for your buck. Case in point, I just got 2 with that blast. Come on. Figure it out. I don't really use bomb arrows for anything else in this game, other than Korok seed balloon popping, and when the occasion calls for it, gemstones. Other than that, I really don't use my bomb arrows. Okay, so here we are, treasure chest. I think this is a silver rupee. Oh, well, never mind. But there are some silver rupees on Gold Rush Mountain. We'll be coming to them eventually. So continuing on around the mountain, you might come to some bird eggs here in the ground. And some bird nests. Okay, just continuing on the ridge line here. Or the cliff wall, whatever you want to call this thing. You'll be coming to some trees. Quite a lot to do right here in this little spot. Lots of goodies here. All sorts of different types of ingredients. Take the time to scoop all of them up. There's also a Korok seed here, if I'm not mistaken. Every now and again you'll see a beetle over here on one of these trees as well. Not having any luck today with beetles on Gold Rush Mountain so far. Swift carrots are another key item. You're going to need 20 in all for suit upgrades when the time comes. I think it's the boots. 10 per boots. That's snow boots and sand boots, and those are important because those are your speed in snow and sand, respectively. There's another big Hearty Radish. Okay, so just to keep track of where we're at, where we're going. Next, I'm going to head out to those 2 trees that are out there in the middle of the grassy area. Reason being, another Korok seed. I think there's some green mushrooms out here also, for stamina. Alright, so at this point we're going to break away, go ahead and warp back up to your travel point there. Alright, so first we went around to the left of that peak, the 3-way split peak. Now we're going to go around to the right. Lots of more goodies on the right. Just kind of stay at this elevation as best as you can. And we're going to actually travel up into that 3-way split. And there's going to be a yellow flower Korok seed. About face, follow it down the mountain. And then it goes up on top of this little peak. Alright, next on the hit list, you'll see some Hearty Durian trees with some pine trees down below. Nice little spot for Hearty Durians. I'll probably put a cooking pot here as well. I only really put the cooking pots on key ingredient locations, because when you know a blood moon is coming, you just want to get to these spots as quickly as possible. You don't want to waste time searching with your runes. You just want to know exactly where they are and run to them very, very quickly. Obviously, the more time you can save, if you already know where this stuff is, the better. The more you can scoop up before that blood moon hits. And like I said before, I don't know if you missed it in my earlier walkthrough video, take the time to get firewood. You're going to need 110 bundles of firewood just for Terrytown, and you're going to need about another 30 for Hillian Homeowner. So lots and lots of bundles of firewood are going to be needed. You might as well take the time to scoop them up while you're knocking trees over anyway. Alright, so let's go ahead and cook and pot this location, just so you see on the map where we're at now. So we are now going to fly back toward kind of where we were already, but there's some more Korok seeds and good stuff right over here. I'm looking for a dead pine tree that's still standing up. There it is right there. Alright, folks. There's that one. Okay, this little grove of trees here, that's all apples. Lots and lots of apples here. Do take the time to go through and get all these apples. Knock the trees down with bombs, it just speeds it up. But the more apples you can collect, the better. That will be fuel for your motorcycle later on when the time comes. You can also sell them off for extra cash flow if need be. And we were already down there, we already collected all that stuff. Oh yeah, to the right of all that, there's a little pond with another Korok seed. Sometimes you'll get lucky and get a beetle off that tree as well. Alright, just for the map reference there. Alrighty, anything else? Looks like that's about it. Okay, moving on. We are now going to head down the mountain just a little bit. We're going to head to where all these little logs are that are laying on their sides, and the top of this little mountain peak. There's 2 more Korok seeds coming up there. And we're in a good position now to go get those real quick. I'm going to kind of stay uphill, because there's a false wall we can blow up for another treasure chest. I just need to locate it. Oh, I just passed it. Shame on me. Okay, I think there's another treasure chest in the area, but actually I think I'm right under it. Bear with me here while I locate. Oh yeah, lots of, you don't really need them, but there's lots of spicy peppers in this little spot. Okay, I could have sworn there was a treasure chest here. Stand by. Maybe it's a false wall right above me. Yep, that's what it is. Come back! Quick 50 roops. Alright, I'm not going to take the time to collect all this stuff, but I do recommend you guys do. For now, let's just get out here and collect our Korok seeds. Then I think it's going to be wise for me to take a quick break in video. When we come back up, we'll finish Gold Rush Mountain. It's another good spot for bomb arrows, if you still have some.